In order to access the engine safety configuration menu, you must first enter the controller password. To do so, please watch our Controls Incorporated password entry video. Once you have accessed the configurable menu, press the menu button until you reach Engine Safety Configuration. In the Engine Safety Configuration menu, you can enable pre-alarms and alarms for the common engine parameters, including fuel level, oil pressure, engine temperature, battery voltage, and engine overspeed. Most electronic engines have oil pressure and engine temperature safeties programmed into their ECU. However, the Controls Incorporated panel can monitor these parameters as well as program them to shut down for values that are more conservative than those designated by the engine ECU. Press the up arrow button to view the first engine safety configuration setting, which is the sender check bypass. This is commonly known in the industry as the oil pressure bypass period, in which the control panel will not react to parameters that are out of tolerance. Continuously press the up arrow button to cycle through the other engine safety configuration selections, such as low fuel settings. Press the up arrow button to cycle through the oil pressure settings. Press the up arrow button to cycle through the engine temperature settings. Press the up arrow button to cycle through the battery voltage check settings. Press the up arrow button to view a battery adjustment setting to trim the display voltage. Press the up arrow button to cycle through the overspeed criteria settings. All of the different engine safety configuration settings are configurable by using the Controls Incorporated display. For example, if you want to set a low oil pressure engine shutdown, you will navigate to the oil pressure selections by pressing the up arrow button until you reach oil pressure check. In this video, the oil pressure check is currently set to off. To enable the oil pressure check, press the Enter button and brackets will appear. There are 3 different oil pressure check options. Press the up arrow button to cycle through the options. If the oil pressure check is set to off, the oil pressure information will continue to be displayed on the Controls Incorporated display screen, but the safety shutdown pre-alarm and alarm will be the responsibility of the engine manufacturer's ECU only and not the Controls Incorporated module. If it is set to always, the oil pressure will be monitored whenever the key switch is turned on. If the oil pressure check is set to run, the oil pressure will be monitored only if the engine is running above 450 RPM, and it will usually incorporate an engine safety bypass time delay. In this video, the operator chooses to set the oil pressure check to run. To do so, press Enter when you cycle to the Run option and the brackets will disappear. Press the up arrow button again to set the low oil pressure pre-alarm. To set the low oil pressure pre-alarm, press the Enter button and brackets will appear around the current PSI value, which in this case is 15 PSI. You are then able to adjust the PSI value by either pressing the up arrow button to increase the value or pressing the down arrow button to decrease the value. Once you have reached the desired setting, press Enter and the brackets will disappear. It is at this assigned PSI value that the yellow pre-alarm warning lamp will illuminate and a written indication will appear on the display. Press the up arrow button to set the low oil pressure alarm. To set the low oil pressure alarm, press the Enter button and brackets will appear around the current PSI value, which in this case is 5 PSI. You are then able to adjust the PSI value by either pressing the up arrow button to increase the value or pressing the down arrow button to decrease the value. Once you have reached the desired setting, press Enter and the brackets will disappear. It is at this assigned PSI value that the engine will automatically shut down when the oil pressure reaches that value. A red lamp will also then be illuminated on your display, as well as a written indication. Press the up arrow button to view the oil pressure alarm delay. A time delay can be associated with the oil pressure level and is adjustable between 0 and 60 seconds. The standard time delay is 5 seconds, meaning that after the engine has been running for 5 seconds with parameters that are below the assigned values, the alarm will occur. You can adjust the time delay by pressing Enter, and brackets will appear around the current time setting. You are then able to adjust the number of seconds for the time delay by either pressing the up arrow button to increase time or pressing the down arrow button to decrease time. Once you have reached the desired time delay setting, press Enter and the brackets will disappear. To return to the engine safety configuration menu, press the menu button. Always cycle the key switch off and back on again to retain any menu changes. This will save your new engine safety configuration settings for engine operation.